Tonight, as you settle into the quiet of your room, allow your thoughts to drift with purpose. The mind, vast and powerful, is your greatest ally. Every idea you nurture, every vision you embrace, carries the seed of your destiny. Success is not a distant mountain. It is cultivated here, in the silence of your own thoughts, in the certainty that you are capable of achieving what you imagine. As you breathe deeply and release the weight of the day, picture clearly the life you desire. Hold it in your mind as if it already exists. Let each detail grow vivid, the sights, the sounds, the feelings, until they are as real as the pillow beneath you. The power of belief is not a force of chance. It is a force of habit, a daily practice that begins the moment you commit fully to your dreams. Tonight, as your body rests, your mind remains awake in its subtle ways. It listens, it learns, and it prepares you for the triumphs that await. Let these words, these thoughts, guide your subconscious gently toward clarity, confidence, and unwavering purpose. With each breath, you sink deeper into relaxation, allowing wisdom to settle within you, planting the seeds of success that will flourish with every new day. Your journey begins here in this quiet moment, in this space between wakefulness and sleep, where the mind absorbs and the spirit aligns. Prepare yourself to dream not just of rest, but of the remarkable life that is quietly, steadily becoming yours. The mind is a force far greater than most of us ever realize, a power that can shape the very course of our lives if we learn to direct it with precision and intention. Each thought, each fleeting idea, has within it the potential to manifest into reality, yet so often we wander through life unaware of this tremendous energy. It is not circumstances nor luck, nor the passing of time that determines the path we follow. It is the quality, focus, and direction of the thoughts we allow to dwell in our minds. The human mind, when properly trained and disciplined, can move mountains, can create opportunities where none seem to exist, and can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. But to achieve this, one must first understand that the mind is not merely a vessel for daydreams or idle musings. It is a creative engine, a factory in which ideas, when carefully nurtured, grow into tangible achievements. Consider for a moment how a single idea can change the course of an entire life. A thought of courage, a belief in possibility, or a plan carefully envisioned can ripple outward, influencing decisions, guiding actions, and eventually shaping circumstances. Every accomplishment that humanity has celebrated began first as a thought in the mind of an individual, often quiet, often unacknowledged, yet powerful beyond measure. And just as ideas have the power to lift us, so too do negative thoughts have the power to limit, to confine, and to diminish our potential. The mind is impartial. It obeys the direction we give it. Feed it with doubt, fear, or indecision, and it will respond with hesitation, stagnation, and limitation. Feed it with purpose, faith, and clarity, and it will respond with confidence, creativity, and action. It is essential, therefore, to guard the mind as one would guard a treasure. Every day we encounter influences, people, experiences, environments that seek to distract or dilute the energy of our thoughts. Left unchecked, the mind drifts toward what is easy, familiar, or comfortable, often at the expense of growth and progress. But when we learn to direct our thoughts with conscious intent, when we decide firmly what we will entertain and what we will reject, we harness the mind's greatest power, the power to create deliberately. This is not a mystical or abstract concept. It is a practical working principle. Every decision, every success, and every moment of clarity arises from thoughts deliberately chosen and carefully cultivated. The mind does not merely react to life. It attracts the circumstances that correspond to its dominant ideas. A person who cultivates thoughts of success, resourcefulness, and resilience will naturally encounter situations that reflect those qualities. Conversely, a person who dwells on fear, doubt, or complaint will attract limitations and obstacles, not because the world is unjust, but because the mind has aligned itself with the vibrations of what it entertains most. This is why it is not enough to wish for success or hope for better circumstances. True power resides in understanding that every thought is a seed, and the quality of the harvest depends entirely on the care and attention given to the seeds we plant in our consciousness. Training the mind begins with awareness. Observe your thoughts as if you were watching a river flow. Notice which currents you allow to pass and which you deliberately guide. When a negative thought arises, acknowledge it without resistance, then gently replace it with an idea that serves your highest purpose. When a constructive idea comes forth, nurture it, explore it, and allow it to grow in clarity and detail. Visualization, affirmation, and deliberate contemplation are tools, but the core principle remains simple. The mind obeys the thoughts it holds most consistently and most vividly. Like a skilled gardener, one must prepare the soil, plant the seeds of intention, and remove weeds that would choke progress. The power of the mind is magnified when combined with belief. A thought without belief is like a spark in the wind. It may flicker briefly, but it will not ignite. A thought held with conviction, repeated and embraced with expectation, becomes unstoppable. It moves through the layers of consciousness, influencing decisions, behaviors, and ultimately the circumstances that arise. This is the essence of personal mastery, the ability to command the mind, to direct it with purpose, and to recognize that within each of us lies the capacity to shape our destiny with nothing more than the deliberate management of our thoughts. Belief is the foundation upon which all success is built. Without it, knowledge remains inert, plans remain unfulfilled, and potential remains untapped. To achieve greatness, one must cultivate an unshakable faith in oneself and in the possibilities that lie ahead, for the mind does not differentiate between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It responds to what is accepted as truth in the depths of consciousness. When belief becomes dominant, it becomes the guiding force that shapes perception, influences decisions, and drives action. Every achievement, every breakthrough, every leap from mediocrity to excellence has been propelled by an individual who believed that it could be done and whose conviction refused to yield to doubt, fear, or criticism. The power of belief is not merely a matter of wishing or hoping. It is an active, disciplined practice. It begins with a choice, a conscious decision to trust in your ability, to acknowledge your potential, and to embrace the possibility that circumstances can be molded by intention and effort. Belief is strengthened when it is reinforced by repetition and affirmation. Words, thoughts, and images repeated consistently begin to permeate the subconscious, gradually transforming perception and behavior. A person who trains their mind to affirm possibilities, to visualize success in detail, and to expect positive outcomes creates an internal environment in which success becomes not only probable but inevitable. Yet, belief is not static. It requires nurturing and vigilance. Life will present challenges, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty that test the strength of conviction. The individual who achieves greatness is not one who avoids doubt, but one who persists in belief despite it. Obstacles become lessons, failures become feedback, and delays are reframed as opportunities to refine strategies and strengthen resolve. This resilience is born from the certainty that the mind, when aligned with unwavering belief, can surmount difficulties, find solutions, and manifest results that others may deem impossible. Belief, in its truest sense, is not blind optimism. It is a deliberate choice to focus on potential, to see opportunity where others see limitation, and to act decisively in accordance with that vision. The human mind responds to belief in ways that are both subtle and profound. When belief is strong, it energizes action. Decisions are made with clarity, effort is sustained with purpose, and challenges are met with creativity rather than hesitation. Conversely, a lack of belief sows hesitation, procrastination, and uncertainty. The difference between success and stagnation often hinges not on talent or resources, but on the degree to which belief drives consistent, directed effort. It is belief that transforms knowledge into mastery, ideas into enterprises, and aspirations into accomplishments. The mind acts upon the dominant ideas it holds, and belief ensures that those ideas are constructive, compelling, and aligned with the goals one seeks to achieve. Belief also has the extraordinary ability to attract allies, opportunities, and circumstances that mirror the confidence and determination within. People are drawn to conviction. Doors open where faith exists, and obstacles diminish in significance when approached from a place of certainty. The subconscious mind, ever alert to what is accepted as truth, begins to align behavior, perception, and action in accordance with the belief held consciously. In this way, success is both created internally and reflected externally, a process in which thought and reality are harmonized through the deliberate exercise of faith in oneself and in the path chosen. To cultivate belief, one must immerse oneself in the practice of visualization, affirmation, and reflection. Picture in vivid detail the outcomes you desire, speak with conviction the truths you choose to embrace, and dwell on possibilities rather than limitations. Repetition and persistence embed these beliefs in the subconscious, where they guide actions, attract opportunities, and reinforce confidence. Belief is a living force, sustained by attention and disciplined practice, and it grows stronger each time it is applied in the face of adversity, doubt, or fear. Ultimately, success is born from the marriage of thought and belief. One can possess knowledge, skills, and talent, yet without belief, these assets lie dormant. Belief animates thought, energizes effort, and focuses the mind on achieving results. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, enabling individuals to transcend circumstances, defy expectation, and accomplish what was once thought beyond reach. When belief becomes unwavering, it becomes a magnet for achievement, a force that propels the mind, body, and spirit toward goals with unrelenting momentum, shaping a reality that reflects the power of faith in oneself and in the possibilities that life holds. The imagination is one of the most powerful faculties of the human mind, yet so few recognize its full potential. It is through imagination that ideas are born, plans are formed, and the future is shaped long before any action is taken in the physical world. Every achievement that has ever been celebrated, every innovation that has transformed society, began first as a vision within the mind of someone who dared to imagine. To neglect the power of imagination is to limit oneself, for the mind does not distinguish between what is vividly conceived and what is already real. The thoughts and images you hold with clarity, intensity, and belief begin to influence your subconscious, guiding your decisions, inspiring action, and ultimately shaping your reality. Visualization is the practical application of imagination, a deliberate technique by which you create a mental picture of the results you seek. To visualize is not merely to daydream, but to immerse yourself fully in the experience of success as if it has already occurred. Every detail matters: the sights, the sounds, the feelings, even the smallest nuances that make the experience real. When the mind is trained to hold these images consistently, it begins to recognize opportunities that align with the vision, inspires creative solutions, and directs energy toward the attainment of the imagined outcome. Visualization is the bridge between thought and reality, a process by which intangible ideas gain form and direction. The imagination thrives when it is nurtured with purpose. It is not enough to passively wish for improvement, wealth, or accomplishment. One must deliberately engage the mind in the creation of detailed plans, rich in clarity and specificity. By mentally rehearsing each step, considering each challenge, and envisioning each success, the mind becomes conditioned to recognize solutions, anticipate obstacles, and act decisively. Just as an artist visualizes a masterpiece before laying brush to canvas, so too must the individual visualize the life they desire before taking the necessary steps to manifest it. Each mental image becomes a guide, a compass that directs effort with precision and consistency. Imagination and visualization also cultivate belief. When a person sees their goal in vivid detail within the mind, it becomes more than a distant possibility. It becomes tangible, believable, and attainable. The subconscious mind, which governs habits, intuition, and decision-making, responds to the images held most consistently and most vividly. By rehearsing success mentally, the mind begins to align thoughts, emotions, and actions in harmony with that success. Fear and doubt lose their power when confronted with the certainty of a clearly imagined outcome. Imagination transforms abstract desire into concrete expectation, and expectation drives effort, persistence, and resilience. The process of visualization also engages emotions, and emotion is the fuel that animates imagination. When one imagines a desired outcome, it is essential to feel it, to experience the excitement, pride, and satisfaction as though it were happening in the present moment. The intensity of feeling amplifies the impact of the mental images on the subconscious mind, embedding them deeply and prompting behaviors that are consistent with the realization of those images. It is through the combination of imagination, clarity, and emotional engagement that ordinary goals are transformed into extraordinary achievements. Imagination is not limited to personal gain or individual success. It also allows for creative solutions to challenges, innovation in business, and the development of ideas that can impact society. When the mind is trained to visualize possibilities beyond current limitations, it begins to generate ideas that others may overlook. The imaginative mind sees opportunity in obstacles, potential in setbacks, and pathways where others perceive barriers. This faculty, when deliberately cultivated, becomes a source of endless ingenuity, resourcefulness, and strategy.